We all go a little mad sometimes.
I like to dissect girls. Did you know I'm utterly insane?
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
We have such sights to show you.
Who's laughing now?
Drive you crazy. I'll kill you all. I'm the greatest nightmare you've ever had. I am your worst dream come true. I'm everything you ever were afraid of.
They're here.
Good morning, you beautiful bastards. Welcome to the Joe Show for Girls Going Gin. I don't know. I'm by myself again today. So, oh my gosh, thank you guys for joining again this week. Hopefully this will work to where we do this every week. We'll see. But yeah, it's fucking early. I think I've been up for like an hour and a half already. I'm still out asleep, so don't judge my life too much. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a good day so far. For those of you who are awake, I know some of you guys live in different parts of the U.S. where it is later in the day. Yeah, so let's get into this shit. I know last week I was talking about the whole, hey, Miggies, share for me because I can't share while I'm doing this right now. Thank you. Last week I did Chris Watts and the Netflix documentary. What the hell was it called? American Murder. I just know that it's referred to mostly as the Watts family murders, but yeah, I talked about that last week and the story behind Chris Watts. This week I was going to talk about Chris Watts himself and things that I was able to find out about his past or his life before being married to Shanann, because kind of, you know, I don't know, you can usually get an idea about a person in their past, you know, with their past. And you know, we do a lot of these serial killers and serial rapists and things like that. You know, you find that there's a lot of indicators from their past that, you know, has led them up to this point. But as far as the things that I was able to find for Chris Watts and his family and whatnot, not really a lot. The only things that I was really able to find was that, you know, he didn't come from an abusive home. Yeah, that he wasn't abused or neglected or anything growing up. And I mean, then from that little bit of information, that could have been from any source. So we really don't know. For all we know, this kid probably got in trouble, or this guy probably got in trouble growing up, maybe off and on. I mean, if he didn't, then what? I don't know. I'm still highly, highly suspecting his mistress, who is in federal witness protection custody right now. So her name has changed. She has, you know, completely different identity and location that she lives in. Which I think is awfully convenient. If any of you saw the documentary or if you kept up on this story and a lot of things that were happening in it, one of the first things that his mistress, Nicole, had inquired about to the detective was if she could be put in witness protection and how does she get her name changed. And that was before more of everything started coming out. So I don't know if she was working on that while, like when she said it, if she was already working on going into witness protection or trying to move away, or what information she gave. Because if she's guilty of stuff, I mean, even if they found just a little bit of stuff that she was guilty for, and she was able to use what information she had as leverage, she could, you know what I mean? Like, I'll snitch if you just let me walk, basically. But of course, she would require a little bit more because this was like a murder that was involved. So, yeah, sneaky bitch. What to say about that? But since I couldn't really find all that much on Chris Watts, I kind of jumped back into A topic that I have brought up off and on in Strange News during the Thursday night shows, which is something that's been fading drastically out of the news, coming back with little, jolts here and there, if you will, of new information that again just leads us back into eventually fading out into nothing. And that is the Mr. I don't even know if I could say his name because I don't even know if this video will get dinged or what. I know a lot of other like YouTube videos and stuff, they don't try to say his name. Actually, you know what? Let me screen share. Maybe that'll help. Why isn't that bigger? Why can I make that bigger? Oh, maybe this one. Can you guys see that? My screen looks a little blurry. But yeah, I'm gonna be, well, I'll talk about Leon Black because this is who it's gonna spin into. So yeah, it's, oh my God, you can see him right there. You can see his name right there. There you go. So anyway, today I'm going to be talking about Leon Black. And Leon Black is a 23% owner of a company called Apollo Investment Group. I think that's the whole name of it, but it goes by Apollo more or less. And this company in 2014 actually bought Chuck E. Cheese. So, go over here. Okay, cool. You can see that. Sorry, I clicked to the actual screen, so I wasn't looking at comments or anything. But anyway, so back in 2014, Mr. Leon Black and the Apollo Group bought failing company Chuck E. Cheese for almost $1 billion, knowing that it was a failing company, which they still haven't done anything to it since. It's been like, what, 6 years, and it's still garbage. But yeah, I guess the Virgin Islands started investigating this guy, and let's see if I can get an image of the Virgin Islands started investigating this guy in link to the, I'm just gonna say it, the Epstein case, because between 2008 and up to 2018, he had wired between $50 and $75 million to Epstein's accounts through his own other accounts. So, what was the one that I wrote down? Oh yeah, in 2017, one of the companies that Black owned, or a company that owned Black's yacht, wired $22.5 million over to a company that managed Jeffrey's planes. So very, very interesting. And for what little source I was able to find, I guess this Leon Black has also been on the island, if you will. Black has also used a lot of his own companies to buy money, or to buy art. He just an art collector, and I kind of noticed that's kind of a little bit of a trend with these people, like the Podestas. They're very high into art. Maxwell's high into art. Jeffrey's into art. What is it? The guy that owns that ping pong pizza place, into art. Marina Abramovic, highly into art. She is an artist herself, and they're all into her. So I mean, it's just this weird fucking loop that keeps coming around. And I mean, you call me a tinfoil hat wearer, but I mean, it's literally right in your face. How do you not see this? Anyways, I digress. The thing is that this Leon Black guy, he was very much aware of what had been going on with Jeffrey, because Jeffrey had already been arrested. And yeah, very exactly. Art is easy to launder money. No, you're exactly right. So that's probably what they were doing. They were doing their little deals and then using the art to funnel the money through. That makes sense. I guess this guy, he had Leon Black. Sorry, I lost my train of thought when I looked down and started reading. It's so early. What was it? Oh yeah, so Epstein was already he was already being prosecuted for soliciting prostitution, or whatever they wanted to call it, in 2004. And this guy, and that was kind of pretty much a little bit of basic common knowledge amongst all of them at the time, and lightly on the news. because nobody really cared. Not that anybody really cared, but nobody really knew who he was at the time. So it's like, okay, this guy's a freaking perv, but we don't even know him. So just go do what you're gonna do to him. So yeah, he already knew what was going on with Jeffrey and decided to do work with him anyway. Now that the Virgin Islands is investigating him for his money and I guess for links of being on the island and doing work with this guy for almost 10 years, he's come out and was like, no, I'm innocent. This and very briefly. He's like not saying a whole lot. He's just like, I'm innocent. I have no wrongdoings in any of this. This was just a bad business move. I highly regret doing this. And then he was questioned on the money and why did you give him so much money? Like for what, at least? What did you give him so much money for? And he said basically that it was basically money to give him philanthropy advice, and for real estate advice and stupid shit like that. And the thing is that Jeffrey is not a licensed accountant. He's not a licensed broker. He's just a regular fucking dude. And all these people are just like, oh yeah, we're just paying him for all this advice because he's just so smart. No, because we all know what you're doing. You're fucking gross. Anyways, yeah. So, what was the other note? Did I have any other special notes on this? No, I don't think I had any other special notes on this. But yeah, that's a lot of friggin' money, man. Like, oh yeah, that was the other thing too, real quick. Because Maxwell, she came back in the news like a couple of days ago herself, right before this came up. Bitch has a super lawyer. Like, that does, like, not like a superhero. Like, this bitch would be like a super villain lawyer. She is like, from what, I may have to do this on another Tuesday or something, but this lady, supposedly, she is like, if you were in like a Bond movie and the main villain got in trouble or one of his top henchmen got in trouble, they would call this bitch. So, yeah, I guess she worked on I don't remember if she worked for or against El Chapo. I want to say she worked for El Chapo. Maybe it was against him. I don't know. But she did represent a terrorist. Oh my God. I can't even remember what it was for. Because I was just so like, what? But yeah, she had defended a terrorist, saying that his living conditions were not up to standard. He wasn't being treated fairly, this and that, yada, yada, yada. I say, I don't give a fuck. You're a terrorist. If you come to even like if somebody from our country blatantly went over to another country and just murdered a bunch of people for no good reason, just for any reason at all, you just go over and murder a bunch of people because, yeah, you deserve to fucking die, dude. Like, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit what your living conditions are. I hope rats eat your face off in the middle of the night. Just saying. I digress. Fuck. Sorry, it's early. I'm easily rantful. Oh, let me get this fucking screen off. Nobody wants to see that douchebag's face anymore. Yeah. Anybody out there in La La Land today besides Miggish? I didn't get to share today. So, yeah, maybe I'll share now. We'll get this party going. We know I'm a party girl. I like this shit. StreamYard. I don't want to share that. That's not what I'm trying to share. It's trying to make me share my Facebook page. I'm like, I guess I'll need to see what's on my Facebook page. It's not important. Not important at all. My lord. Oh, there I am. They keep changing this. I don't use Facebook on my laptop very much. Oh, I'm looking at myself. How cool. I don't use Facebook on my laptop too much unless I'm downloading like a video or something to upload, which I hate doing that as well. Because Facebook just fucking sucks. I am sorry. I'm not a fan of Facebook at all. At all. Why won't you let me put this share again? Man, I hate this shit. Let's pop it everywhere. Yeah, I'm tired of trying to share this shit. Fuck you, Facebook. Anyway, I'm back. Hi. Ooh, hey, Anon One News. How you doing today? Thank you for joining. You missed like a bulk of my rant for this morning. I apologize. I'm a fast talker sometimes, usually because I have a lot of things to do, so I need to just get one way and the other. But yes, just a few minutes ago, I was talking about how the guy who owns the Apollo Group and bought Chuck E. Cheese is now being investigated for giving Epstein millions and millions of dollars. Yeah, he says he's innocent, but don't they all? That was my long story. That was my 15-minute story in a 15-second sum up. Oh my goodness. Where are we at? This week on Girls Gore and Gin, I do believe we have Miss Julianne Prescott. Correct me if I'm wrong, Migs, and you're still watching. I'm pretty sure it's Julianne that's going to be on this week. She is a very well-known indie horror actress. She's beautiful. She's very talented. Oh, yeah, damn, you missed the rant. I'm so sorry. When this ends, just back it up to the first 15 minutes, and then when you get at the 15-minute mark, you should be able to stop, and then you'll be all complete. So, but yeah, so I believe she will be on this week. I was actually in a movie with her. Oh, yay. Okay, so I was right. It's going to be Miss Julianne Prescott. Actually, Julie and I were both in one of Miguel's films called Christmas Party Massacre. And that was a really fun film. I wish that Miguel would get off his ass and get this going again. Because that was a good time. Yeah, and I do a show once a month with Julie. We haven't this past month because we've all been busy, but yeah. What is it called? 80s horror slasher film review? I don't know. I don't know. It's so early. I don't even know what my name is right now. I hope this is coffee. Jeez. But yeah. So yeah, we'll probably share some links for her. So if you guys aren't familiar with her, you can get very much acquainted with her. I think you guys are gonna love her if you haven't seen her already. She has been on our show before in the past. Shit, how long ago was that? Maybe like 2 years ago, Migs? Maybe? Year and a half, 2 years? No, it wasn't a year and a half ago. It had to have been like maybe 2 or more. 2 or a little more. I don't know. But yeah, and she also runs the Days of the Dead convention that runs on a circuit as well from Vegas. I think they've done it in Texas and a couple other places. But I think pretty much without a doubt, it's always at least in Vegas every year, which is also a fun event. I've been to that one. Lots of fun people. It's a real fun time, especially being in Vegas because we get to go down Fremont Street and we get to go to the Nerd and go bowling and then just go be drunk idiots all night with a plethora of other drunken adults. Oh my gosh. Trying to check something real quick. Okay, so yeah. And yeah, I got maybe about 10 more minutes with you guys at most because I know Miggy needs the platform to go start his Great American Morning. So, yeah. Trying to think what else to talk about because I talk so fast and just blew through my shit. Oh, well, if you were here for the first part of the rant, guys, what do you guys think about it as far as Mr. Leon Black and his just so happens to buy Chuck E. Cheese 8 years after meeting Jeffrey, and hasn't done anything to it. I mean, as far as I know, it's still a failing business. We have a Chuck E. Cheese here, but I really don't see it busy. I mean, obviously right now it's not busy, duh, but before it wasn't really a poppin' place to go to. I mean, maybe you took your 4-year-old there, but we live an hour and a half from LA and 2 hours from Fresno. We can go anywhere and do a lot of other shit that's better than Chuck E. Cheese. So, morning, Anthony. Thanks for joining. But yeah, what do you guys think about that? Let me know. Like I said, I think it's awfully convenient. And it's weird how there are similarities in a lot of these guys who end up being connected with Jeffrey, as far as they're art collectors and they're very wealthy people. One thing I will say, because I've been saying this for a very long time, and my boyfriend didn't really believe it, but now that more stuff's coming out, I think he's really starting to go, yeah, I think you might be right. I still could be very much wrong, but no one really talks about Ghislaine as much as they really should, I think. I think a lot of people need to go back into her backstory and look at her and her father and who her father was and what he did and where his money came from, yada, yada, yada. Because she came from a very wealthy family. And when her father passed, she got all that money. And then, her and Jeffrey like went wild and did a whole bunch of shit that now they're paying the price for. Well, not really, but whatever. They're outed. Oh, thank you, Seth. Hey, Justin, thanks for joining. I'm almost out of here, guys. This is early morning shows are kind of short, and Miggy needs the platforms for his great American morning. Yes, I love this country. Miguel's here somewhere, I think. I don't know. He might have left. Frankie might have hit him again. One of the kids probably drug him in the corner. I don't know. He lives in a wild ass house. I'm just kidding. He has a lovely family. Thank you. Coffee is not kicked in yet, but thank you. Yeah. So, like I said, you guys, if you're interested in this whole Jeffrey, Leon Black, Ghislaine situation, I know it's a rough one to get into, but if you don't focus on the girls and what happened to them, not to say that it's not important at all, it very much is, but if you just don't think about that, it makes it easier to focus on him and the shit that he's been doing and everyone else connected, because at first I would just constantly be thinking about the girl, like, oh my god, this girl this and this girl that, and I started like really missing key points of things that were happening. So not to say that I don't care or that I'm dismissing, what happened to them. It's very horrific, and I honestly don't think that they'll really ever get the justice they deserve for it. I know that they'll get something, but I mean, honestly, it would never be enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, for something like that, there's nothing that can make up for that. So, hey CW, thanks for joining, buddy. I'm almost out of here. I'm wrapping my shit up right now. But make sure you guys join Miguel right after this at 8 o'clock for Great American Morning, which is a cigar show he does through the Bakersfield Gentleman. Later this week for Girls 4 and Gin, we're going to have Julianne Prescott on Thursday night, 7 p.m. California time. And tomorrow morning, Lauren's going to be up to bat because it's her morning. And then we're going to start the damn process all over again with Migs, Joe, Lauren, main show. So until you guys get tired of us or someone quits. I don't know. Whatever comes first. So, but yeah, just food for thought, about the whole Maxwell shit. I honestly think she's the ringleader of all of it. I really do. Well, not necessarily her. I think it all stemmed from her dad and what he might be connected to. Because Jeffrey's a fucking dink. Like, he's nothing. I mean, yeah, he's a great bullshitter because he bullshitted his way into a college professor job with no degree or experience whatsoever. So he's been conning people for a very long time. And I think just my own little tinfoil hat story here is that I think that the money was her father's and he was in on a bunch of the shit. I think she was in on a bunch of the shit because she was conditioned and brought into that. So, I mean, of course. And then I think she met Jeffrey. And then he I don't know whether or not, in my mind, I don't know whether or not that might have been something well, no, actually, it probably was because a lot of people said that, he was a womanizer. He liked the young girls and stuff, even at a young age. So, yeah, so he, she probably, hey, you're into this too. How far you want to go with this? You're a great bullshitter. I could use somebody like you. So basically hiring him as a mouthpiece. And I think he ended up just eventually just being the fall guy. And then she tried to run for it. She got caught. Now she's caught in it, and I think this is another reason why, they keep saying like, oh, everybody's so scared that she's going to talk because she has so much information on people. Well, duh, because she was the main person for it. That's why she knows. It's not that, oh, she was, Jeffrey's little girlfriend or, her, she was the tag along friend, no, she was the boss. He was the henchman and he ended up being the fall guy. That's what I think it is. That's just my tinfoil hat story of the morning, but I think that's what it is. And I could be wrong, but I hope I'm not. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm going to get out of here and give Miguel time to set up for his show. You guys make sure that you come back tomorrow because Lauren's going to be up to bat. And then Thursday night, 7 o'clock California time for our main show. Make sure you guys, if you haven't already, check us out on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Under Girls More and Jen. Sorry. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, share, tell your mama, tell your papa, tell your friends, and then come back and see us. All right, guys. See you guys Thursday. Lauren will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Mwah.